This year's show's been really interesting. I think a big thing that you do notice when you're here on the ground is that it isn't all about consumer technology. I think for us, that's what we try to find, but there's so much wheeling and dealing here about network technologies, 5G, Internet of Things, all this stuff that kind of needs a few years of lead time before we really see it in market. VR and 360-degree video is all kind of getting mixed together right now. I think the vast majority of the hours spent using VR technology is probably going to be 360-degree video. And that's not a bad thing. It's really cool. It's also easy to produce. There's going to be more content available, while VR is kind of the more hardcore environment that's really hard to produce. And we're kind of, I think, going to hit a conflict between connected cars and driverless cars, because 10 years from now we might be talking about total just supply-demand, subscription-based cars that just turn up when you need them and go away when you don't. Then the phone still becomes the hub, because it'll be triggered by the fact that you've arrived, it identifies your phone, and then it knows that you are there in the vehicle. And I mean, another one of the brands, like Sony, actually, I really like their little Xperia Ear idea. It almost kind of reminds me of the Spike Jonze movie Her, and the fact that it's just going to be that, little personal assistive device in your ear. We've seen so many personal assistive ideas, Amazon Echo with Alexa, Microsoft's Cortana, Siri, all these sorts of techs, and Sony's trying to hit on their version. And I just like that always with you, whispering in your ear kind of idea. Could be quite engaging for people. We're almost at the 10th anniversary of the iPhone. There is nothing that's changed this business more. I think it's still fascinating to look back at the photo that Steve Jobs showed on stage on the day they announced the iPhone of like, these are the best phones in the world right now, and everything had the big keyboard attached to it, the small screen. It was just a completely different device. But we've really hit a point where actually the phone is almost at the end of this first era, where it's now just it is exactly what it's probably going to be for a long time in that form factor until we shift to rollable screens or whatever comes next. Wearables are something that I think everybody's struggling to work out. How do you make it work in a way that makes you money as well, right? I think certainly not many people are buying smartwatches because I think they're still just too expensive on one level for what you get back from it. My big kind of thought around that is really about sensor technology. I want a smartwatch to have enough sensors in it that there's a reason to have a device pressed against my skin all day. Give me kind of those heart rate baselines, those blood oxygen readings, all the things we've heard about but that haven't really happened yet. Mobile World Congress is absolutely this, this just convergence of everybody who we're all here together, but we're kind of alone staring at our screens, bumping into each other horrifically. But we're all apologetic, I think, because we understand that's what we're all doing. I was at the Samsung event as well, where we were all a few thousand people, all encased in VR goggles, while they gave a surprise entrance to Mark Zuckerberg, and we now kind of have a rather iconic photo of Mark Zuckerberg walking through a sea of people in virtual reality goggles. It's, I think, both a little bit terrifying, but I like the fact that all these things just keep pushing the edge of what does it mean to be sociable, what does it mean to be a community, and I don't mind that being challenged now and then.